Hello and welcome to the Nutrition Diva podcast. I'm your host, Monica Reinagel, and today I want to talk about the role that body weight plays on health, because this is a subject of some debate. The Health at Every Size movement promotes acceptance and appreciation of one's body regardless of your body size. It encourages people who have overweight or obesity to shift their focus from losing weight to other healthy habits, such as eating healthy foods and getting more exercise. Some physicians and dietitians who embrace this philosophy will even refuse to counsel people on weight loss. It's okay if their clients lose weight as a result of changing their health habits, but that shouldn't be their goal. Now, part of this is a response to the harmful stigmatization and discrimination that people living in larger bodies have long experienced. People with overweight and obesity face bias and discrimination in many aspects of their lives, including with their healthcare providers. Numerous studies have shown that people with larger bodies receive substandard care and less support from their healthcare providers. And because obesity is more prevalent among low-income individuals and minorities, a bias against patients who are overweight can disproportionately affect these disadvantaged groups and contribute to a downward spiral of poor outcomes. The Health at Every Size movement is also a pushback against so-called diet culture. And I get it. The relentless pressure to be thin and the means by which this ideal is promoted and pursued has caused untold psychological and physical suffering. However, this philosophy also came of age in an era when the available treatment options for obesity were pretty ineffective. Short of bariatric surgery, most attempts to achieve and maintain significant weight loss failed. But over the last few years, we have seen a dramatic sea change in the treatment of overweight and obesity, triggered by new medications known as GLP-1 agonists. And I've discussed various aspects of these medications in previous episodes, and we will include a link to those in the show notes. These medications have not only been found to be remarkably effective in promoting weight loss, but also in reducing risks from a range of other conditions, including type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Nonetheless, some self-described fat activists continue to insist that overweight and obesity are not diseases that need to be treated. Rather, they are perfectly healthy, natural body types that have been unjustifiably pathologized. They argue that you can be what the medical world considers obese, but still be metabolically healthy if other indicators, such as your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol, are in healthy ranges. So let's take a closer look at the science. Now, it is true that the number on the scale does not tell the whole story about your health. Body weight and body mass index, or BMI, doesn't take into account your body composition. So a very muscular person may have a BMI that puts them in the overweight or obese category when they are obviously no such thing. On the flip side of the coin, someone with a very low BMI may still have a high amount of visceral fat. That's the fat that builds up around the abdominal organs and the most dangerous type of body fat. This is the so-called skinny fat phenomenon, which also increases your disease risk. And it's also worth pointing out that the conventional criteria for healthy body weight are based primarily on Caucasian body types, and they may not be appropriate for people of all races and ethnicities. However, a study involving over 500,000 subjects published in 2018 found that even for those with normal blood pressure, normal blood sugar, and cholesterol levels in the normal range, for these folks, simply being overweight still increased the risk of heart disease by 28%. We conclude that there is no such thing as being healthy obese, wrote the lead researcher, Camille LaSalle. More recently, a 2023 study observed that indicators of metabolic health, things like your blood pressure, blood sugar, or a high waist to hip ratio, these were a stronger short-term predictor of cardiovascular events than your BMI. But even for those who were considered to be metabolically healthy, a higher BMI signaled a higher risk of trouble ahead. In other words, simply being in a so-called healthy weight category does not guarantee smooth sailing if you have other risk factors, but all other things being equal, those in a healthy weight category do have a lower long-term risk. So your weight does matter, but it's certainly not the only thing that matters. If you are carrying extra body fat, losing some of it would likely decrease your risk of various diseases, especially if you go about it in a sane and sustainable way. But choosing healthy foods and being active can also help you be healthier at your current weight. And being as healthy as you can be at your current size may also be a bridge to a healthier size in the future. Many years ago, I profiled a reader who had quit smoking cold turkey after being a heavy smoker for more than a decade. And after she quit smoking, she was surprised to find that she was suddenly more interested in nutrition and health. It was something she'd never really paid attention to before. She started going to the gym. She started eating healthier. And as she explained it to me, I knew smoking was about the worst thing I could do. And because I was smoking, it just didn't seem worth doing anything else for my health. So I never bothered about nutrition or exercise or anything else. I figured I was a lost cause. In the same vein, the health at every size philosophy tries to upend the narrative that exercise and vegetables are only for thin people. It encourages people to pursue healthy habits even if they are overweight. And it offers ways to evaluate and measure progress other than simply stepping on the scale. And for those who have been demoralized by a history of failed weight loss attempts, that may be especially valuable. And indeed, research shows that interventions based on health at every size principles led to improvements in eating attitudes, perception of body image, physical capacity, and health-related quality of life, even without significant changes in body weight and physical activity levels. That is a goal that is absolutely worth pursuing. All I'm saying is that it doesn't have to be one or the other. We can and we should support people in living the healthiest life that they can enjoy living regardless of their body size. As I often say to my own clients, every step in the right direction is a step worth taking. And in many cases, the more steps you take, the more possible those next steps become. If you have thoughts you'd like to share about this topic, I'd love to hear them. You can email me at nutrition@quickanddirtytips.com. You can also leave me a message at 443-961-6206. If you're looking for more support for healthy weight management, please check out the resources at wayless.life, where my goal is to help people create the habits, the mindset, and the lifestyle that help them weigh less without dieting. That's at wayless.life. Nutrition Diva is a Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, and it's made possible by the contributions of Brandon Getchis, Nathan Sems, Davina Tomlin, Holly Hutchings, Morgan Christensen, and Cameron Lacey. That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.